Senior Counsel Roysdale Forde described the ruling by Justice Sandil Kisoon as historic. His comments came at the end of the sitting on Friday.
A marathon decision delivered, I believe, running just under 4 hours. The court, in its decision, was able to answer the questions which would have been asked by Mr. Wade, representing the Teachers Union, and on my behalf, representing the Trade Unions Congress, which is whether in all the circumstances of the case and the law that currently exists, whether there was a right to strike as enshrined in the Constitution of Guyana. For the first time, the court would have determined authoritatively that there exists a right to strike in Guyana.
He said the court examined a number of earlier decisions.
The court would have been able to rely on decisions from the CCJ, which pointed out the importance and role of the inclusion of international conventions in Guyana under Article 154A of the Constitution and Article 39 of the Constitution. After engaging in such an in-depth analysis, the court concluded, as I said, that there exists a right to strike in Guyana. On the basis of that right to strike, the court engaged in an analysis as to whether in the circumstances of this particular case, the strike was justified and legal.
Given the affidavits, the judge found that there was no basis for the government to deny or ensure the teachers received their salaries without deductions.
So the court ruled that there is no basis, no right existing in the government through the Ministry of Education to deduct salaries for days on which the teachers would have been on strike. The court then proceeded to determine the question as to whether the evidence given by Mr. Saddam Hussein was acceptable and appropriate. The court found that the evidence adduced by him was intended to deceive the court. It was misleading and not capable of providing the basis upon which the court can act as a whole on the issues which had to be determined.
The government had announced that it was going to cease the agency shop arrangement. This is an arrangement through which the government deducts union dues from teachers on behalf of the GTU.
The court found that similarly that was also unconstitutional. So we have today a case where the workers' rights in this country has been enshrined in law and has been vindicated by the decision of this court. This is a significant and landmark decision. It has altered the understanding and interpretation as to what constitutes workers' rights. I believe this is a significant, I can't underscore it enough, a significant win for labor and workers in this country.
Forde said that the court tested what had happened during the hearings.
The court tested the conduct of the Ministry of Education in its letter that it sent refusing to ensure that the deduction of wages continue and the remission of wages continue. The court tested the question on the decision of the Ministry of Labor. The court tested the involvement of the Chief Labor Officer in the entire process in ensuring that they failed to participate in a process which would have prevented this strike. So these are significant determinations.
He spoke of the endorsement of workers' rights.
The period of time that we're currently in is one in which we are engaging in expansion of rights. The fact that the court was able to recognize that since 2000 and 2001, these rights were being recorded in our Constitution shows where we are heading as a country and as a world.